Okay, so it's my pleasure to present a case series of ocular sequelae of COVID-19 infection. And this is a series from the various departments of Apollo Health City of Hyderabad. So basically, virus has been detected in tears and the normal ocular surface of COVID-19 patients, which indicates that ocular surface can be a portal of entry of the virus and a reservoir for viral transmission. Now, of the various cases that we have treated at Apollo hospitals, these can be divided into those which are secondary infections due to the immunosuppression caused by COVID or its treatment, or neuroophthalmic manifestations which are multifactorial, including viral invasion, and thirdly, treatment specific adverse effects. So, we had a 46-year-old patient who complained of symptoms, pain, redness, vision drop for 4 weeks, which started during his COVID infection, at which time he was also on steroids and had developed steroid induced diabetes. We treated him with the vitrectomy, and there were balls of exudates in the vitreous, suggesting this was a fungal etiology. And at the end of the surgery, you see a lot of exudates at 6 o'clock position on the retina. He was treated subsequently with oral voriconazole for 6 weeks and ciprofloxacin for 2 weeks. And at 6 weeks, he had resolved completely. Um, During the vitrectomy, we injected two antifungal agents, voriconazole and amphotericin B, along with vancomycin and amikacin. This is another elderly lady, middle-aged lady, who complains of vision loss in the right eye for 4 weeks. Again, started after her COVID infection. She also has multiple abdominal abscesses on imaging, and she's under evaluation and investigation for this. There was an interesting middle-aged gentleman who was sent to us for routine fundus screening because he was having candidemia during his COVID infection. He was also a diabetic, hypertensive, had renal candida infection, um, and his cultures were positive. So when we saw him, there were multiple patches of retinitis in the right eye, also involving the fovea. And we assumed these are candida, and we have shifted him to oral voriconazole, which has a higher vitreous bioavailability. At 2 weeks, he was a little better. Systemically, he was not fit for vitreous procedures. And at 6 weeks, however, his activity of the lesions was increasing. And so we now took him up for intravitreal injection of antifungals as well as one antibiotic. But 10 days later, while he's still on systemic voriconazole, his vitreous inflammation and vitreous exudates have worsened, and he's now scheduled for vitrectomy. Now, candida retinitis has not been reported yet in COVID infection, but candidemia has been reported, and all patients that have been reported have been admitted to ICU, have had a central venous catheter, and received broad spectrum antibiotics, which was also true for our current patient. Now, the single most important cause for vision loss that we found in our series was mucormycosis. 9 patients during COVID infection, of which 2 were bilateral. They had ophthalmoplegia ptosis, but importantly, they had complete vision loss in 5 cases, no PL or only PL. All patients were treated with antifungals. 7 required orbital and optic nerve decompression, and 1 underwent bilateral enucleation. Of the 2 patients who had subnormal vision, they improved to 618 and 69. But of those who had no vision, only 1 improved to 6/60. All others remained blind. And there are some isolated case reports of mucormycosis, but none which has 9 cases of mucormycosis. So what is this relation between COVID-19 and fungal infections? It is believed that COVID-19 causes overexpression of cytokines as well as impaired cell-mediated immunity, which predisposes to fungal infections. And these are seen more commonly when patients have other immunocompromised states associated, such as transplants, steroid use, tumors, and diabetes. We had 2 patients with raised intracranial hypertension, which was idiopathic. This was a young lady who started having her symptoms of headache and vision blurring during her COVID infection, and a 47-year-old male who had very severe papilledema enough to cause hemorrhages as well as serous macular detachment. MRI brain was normal, and he is on Diamox and steroids, improving. Now, there's only one report or article speaking about this, which says that headache is a frequent symptom of COVID-19, and a large proportion of these patients may be because of raised intracranial pressure. But since nobody has investigated for that, these may not be getting diagnosed. The pathogenesis of raised intracranial pressure in COVID is multifactorial, could be coagulopathies, CVST, or sepsis. We had two patients with bilateral optic neuritis that started during their COVID infection. One was a 56-year-old male, painless vision loss, both eyes. Vision was 636 at presentation. The only thing abnormal was a secocentral scotoma in both eyes. We treated him with IV solumetrol and oral steroids. There was significant subjective improvement, but no objective improvement in vision. And he developed disc pallor at the end of 6 weeks. Similarly, a young lady with bilateral optic neuritis, which improved on treatment. There are isolated case reports of optic neuritis with COVID infection. We also had one patient with partial third nerve paralysis, and there was infarct in the midbrain at the level of superior colliculus, which could explain this third nerve palsy. There are occasional reports of third nerve and sixth nerve cranial palsy with COVID infection. And what is the pathogenesis of the optic neuritis or cranial nerve palsies is multifactorial, believed to be either direct virus invasion or inflammatory factors, or secondary to neurological complications or hypoxia. Now, interestingly, we had a patient with systemic aspergillosis secondary to COVID infection. Significant visual symptoms, blurring of vision, flashes for 3 to 4 weeks, but his ocular evaluation and investigations, including perimetry and color vision, were normal. So finally, we reached a diagnosis of voriconazole-induced visual symptoms, which are reversible. And in his case also, he improved when we reduced the dose of voriconazole. We had two young ladies who were on steroids for COVID infection management, and they developed CSCR during this time. And both resolved when the steroids were discontinued. What we did not see or identify was conjunctivitis related to COVID, or retinal microangiopathy, which has been reported, or even central retinal artery occlusion with COVID. These are reported cases which we did not see. Thank you very much for your attention.